One of the things I'd like to address as far as parenting goes is don't worry about the small stuff. I'm going to use my son Jack as an example. Jack is 17 years old. It's really important for 17-year-olds to define themselves differently than their parents. Why? Well, because they're their own human beings. In order to be your own human being, you must have an opinion. For me, when Jack thinks like I do on an issue, it doesn't show up like an opinion. It just shows up like he's right. When Jack thinks differently than I do on a particular issue, that's what shows up as an opinion, right? You know the old saying, we all have opinions just like we have armpits? Let's talk about good decisions versus bad decisions. I would not want Jack to make a bad decision regarding, say, whether or not he wants to do homework versus I will define myself differently than my father by having long hair. Now, at this point, long is more like Beatles long than it is like, Cher long. But, nonetheless, this is pretty common among young men right now. For whatever reason, longer curly hair is popular. And I'm to some extent envious. The head of hair on that kid looks great. My opinion is that he should cut his hair. And my opinion is that he should cut his hair. The haircut that I have is the haircut that I have come to the conclusion is the most effective. However, when it comes to Jack, he wants to have a different haircut than I do. Fine. Good. Because that problem can be fixed in a day, in an hour. We can fix the haircut problem in an hour. The face tattoo problem, on the other hand, would be a big problem. And the grade in high school problem can't be fixed, right? Like you have the grade point average that you have. The point I'm trying to make is that let your kids make little mistakes. And that way they can come to the conclusions that they come to surrounding mistakes, because we all have to learn. There's two ways to learn. You can learn either by watching other people make mistakes, or you can learn by making the mistakes yourself. I can tell you, as a man who spent 8.5 years in prison, learning by your own mistakes is costly and slow. Learning by other people's mistakes is fast and cheap. Do fast, cheap things. Because there are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts in life. Good action, good results. Bad action, bad results.